Good morning and welcome to our celebration. I'm Margaret Latimer, the Vice President and Provost of the Germantown Campus, and I am delighted to welcome you to the opening of the Bioscience Education Center. This $94 million, 145,000 square foot building houses 6 classrooms, 8 recitation rooms, 25 wet labs, an amazing science learning center, offices, and more, so much more. You are seated in the 4,000 square foot conference center, and there are breakout rooms just outside these doors. I can cite these figures, and they are tangible measures of the phenomenal support and effort that made this building possible. Less tangible, but no less phenomenal, are the opportunities that exist in the classrooms, labs, offices, and even the hallways. This building inspires. The state of Maryland, and Montgomery County in particular, is a global leader in the life science sector. This beautiful and beautifully equipped state-of-the-art Bioscience Education Center will allow us to educate and train 21st century researchers and technicians, the next generation of science teachers, innovators, and entrepreneurs. The level of effort by our incredible biology, chemistry, and biotechnology staff and faculty, and the untiring determination of our facilities staff to have this building open for business, open for classes on August 25th, the first day of classes, is only surpassed by the very tangible excitement and the opportunities that this incredible facility provides. We can better empower more students to change their lives and ours, because some will go on and do phenomenal things, things that had their genesis here. Students will be prepared with the skills and knowledge required to support our high-tech industries, DNA Alley, and for high-wage jobs that support the colleges and the county's traditions of excellence and entrepreneurship. I am so pleased to see so many of our friends here today, and to all of you, thank you for your support of Montgomery College, our missions, and of our students. Community members, business leaders, friends of the college, and all of the Montgomery College students, faculty, staff, and administrators. And we have some very special guests I'd like to call out. From the great state of Maryland, Comptroller Peter Franchot, Senators Jenny Forehand and Nancy King, Delegates Charles Barkley and Kathleen Dumais, Brian Feldman, Sheila Hickson, Susan Lee, and Carell Resnick, Montgomery County Council President Craig Rice, I'll promote you, Council members Philip Andrews and Roger Berliner, Mayor of Gaithersburg, Sidney Katz, representing United States Senator Barbara Mikulski, Lori Edberg, representing United States Senator Benjamin Cardin, Kenneth Reichert, representing United States Congressman Christopher Van Hollen, Joan Kleinman, and representing Councilmember Mark Ehrlich, Dale Tibbetts. Montgomery College Trustees, Reginald Felton, Chair, Marcia Suggs-Smith, First Vice Chair, Michael Knapp, Second Vice Chair, and Life Sciences Park Foundation Board Member, Gloria Aparicio Blackwell, Kenneth Hoffman, Leslie Levine, Michael Pretty, Benjamin Wu, Carlos Meijas Ramos, our student trustee, Trustees Emeriti and Life Science Park Foundation board members, Stephen Kaufman and Michael Lynn, President Emeritus Dr. Hercules Pinckney and his wife Pat, still the First Lady, former student trustees Jonathan Jays Green, Gabrielle Spiro, Alexander Stone, and from the Montgomery College Foundation, Martin Colburn, Chair, Kenneth Becker, Michael Poutsaikas, Sally Rudney, Mayor Jeffrey Slavin, Morgan Sullivan, Gregory Wims, Linda Youngentab. Additional Life Sciences Foundation board members are here, and the Life Sciences Park Board is a new board that is overseeing and working to develop the rest of the Hercules Pinckney Life Sciences Park, which this building is part of, and Holy Cross Hospital, Germantown Hospital is part of. So the other board members are here, and I just want to give a shout out to them because this is a new organization. Steve Kane, John Compton, Alan DeLeon, Derek Harps, James Hu, William Keller, Randy Maddox, John McLean, Jim Muir, Devinder Punian, Tom Rogers, Robert Shear, David Sears, Ruby Sherman, Rocky Sorrell, Holly Sullivan, Gail Wasserman, Doug Wren, and Dewey Yates. And from the Montgomery College Alumni Board of Governors, President Richard Beal. We're joined today, too, by the Executive Director of the Universities at Shady Grove, Dr. Stuart Edelstein, Montgomery County Public School Board member Rebecca Smondrowski, Vice President of Government and Community Relations at Holy Cross Hospital, Ms. Eileen Cahill, the Senior Vice President and Global Head of Clinical Development at MedImmune, Dr. Jamie Friedman, and finally, Montgomery College President, Dr. DeRionne Pollard. A warm welcome and thank you for joining us on this very special celebration. You know, as I read that list, it occurred to me, I was in the classroom not too many years ago, and so calling roll at this time of year seems a very normal and natural thing to be doing, but that's quite an honor roll, and we are very honored that you were able to join us. And again, thank you for your contributions to making not only this day possible, but this building. And it is now my great pleasure to introduce Mr. Reginald Felton, Montgomery College Board of Trustees Chair.
Good morning. Good morning. What a fantastic day for fantastic purpose. Aren't we all proud of this facility? You know, facilities and grounds and campuses provide an excellent visual for those who may not have even thought about going to college. So I don't want you just to look at this building as a place where there's great learning and teaching going on, but as a symbol to many students who live in this area to want to say, what is that great building? I want to go there, and that's important. So on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want to also thank you for being here and thank all of you who made this possible today. We would like to acknowledge those responsible for making this day possible, those here at Montgomery College, our elected officials, our neighbors, our friends, our community business partners, our generous donors, all who have offered their support and funding. So congratulations again, and thank you. Together we have made this Bioscience Education Center a reality. And now as classes commence on this beautiful fall morning, we can relish in the accomplishment. I have high hopes for our faculty and students as they embark on their educational journey in this bright, modern, inspiring building. I hope they dream big and always strive to explore and discover new things. A renowned American science fiction writer said, "Everything is theoretically impossible until it's done." Well, folks, you and I, and all of us here have done it. Let's congratulate ourselves. And there's one other person here who there are many people here, but there's one person I'd like to introduce. It's our First Lady, President DeRionne Pollard.
Well, good morning, everyone. I am delighted to welcome you to this most auspicious environment, but more importantly, I'm here as a proud president of this wonderful institution. I'm always proud to stand before you as the president of Montgomery College, but I must admit, today holds a particularly special place in my heart to have this opportunity. For me, today is about having the opportunity to give thanks. For all of us at Montgomery College and for all of us in Montgomery County, this is Thanksgiving. I don't know about you, but when my family comes together in the holidays and Thanksgiving in particular, and we sit down for dinner, the first thing that we do is hold hands. We hold hands to say thank you to each other, but most importantly to acknowledge that we could not have come this far without each other. More importantly, is simply saying I could not have made it without you. And I love that feeling, and that's the same exact feeling I have today as I stand before you in this audience. I wish, in fact, that I had the opportunity to hold each of your hands. But since we won't be able to do that, I'll simply tell you that I am so grateful. My heart is full because this is the opportunity to recognize and thank all of you who had the vision many years ago that brought us to this day of celebration at Montgomery College. When I arrived at Montgomery College in August of 2010, the groundbreaking ceremony for this particular facility was still 6 months away. That day, we were celebrating what we knew to be a building that would have a significant impact not only on the teaching and learning of this campus and our college, but also, as our trustee chair said, impacting the community in very powerful ways. The fact that now we stand here on Thanksgiving Day in our new Bioscience Education Center is in fact a very amazing thing for me and a testament of so many things that are right in this county. It is a testimony to the vision of those people who think bold thoughts. It is a vision and a testimony to the people who never give up and who never give in. It is a tribute to the people who can, dare I say, feel it in their bones, the wisdom of the words of Robert Kennedy that he spoke some 46 years ago. Some people look at things as they are and ask why. I dream of things that never were and ask why not. That is indeed a wise vision. What we know in our county and what we know at Montgomery College is that a better day and a brighter tomorrow will always be possible so long as we are driven by people who have a vision in their consciousness and titanium in their spines. We are those people. We ask, why not? Our Bioscience Education Center will fortify our workforce from lab bench workers to the next generation of scientists. It will fuel our economy and it will drive new discoveries and open new vistas. Above all, it will give our students access to careers that will make them swell with pride and make their families grab just a handful of hope for what an education and a career can do for them. These students will know that they are defining their future. They will not only make a living, but they will make a difference. They will not only serve our county, dare I say, they will be serving our country. When I think about all this, I think about the fact that throughout our country, in many towns and in too many cities, we hear voices that are weary. We hear people who oftentimes speak of gloom. We hear people who are discouraged, and some that are very frightened. Above all, we hear a lot of voices that are against something. They're louder and louder every day, and we're bombarded with them as we watch the 24-hour news cycle in our world right now. Some people actually seem proud of this idea that they think that we can't do something. And we hear an awful lot of voices talking about what cannot be done right now. I'm going to tell you, you're not going to hear those voices in Montgomery County. You're not going to hear those voices at Montgomery College. We talk about what we can do in this county, and then, simply put, we do it. In fact, I believe that this new day and this building gives us a special insight into that. I think that we should engrave on this Bioscience Education Center and perhaps every public facility in Montgomery County the following words, quote, "Those who say that it cannot be done should get out of the way of those who are doing it." I don't know if I need to repeat that, but just because it makes me a little happy to say it, I will. Those who say that it can't be done should get out of the way of those of us who are doing it. And here's the critical point in that. At our college and in this county, we are doers, simply put. This building had a lot of doers who had the right thing in mind on this Thanksgiving Day, and just a few of them I feel that I need to acknowledge. First, let me acknowledge the support that we receive from the great state of Maryland. Thank you for always holding our hands, and we are so grateful for that support. In particular, Mr. Francho, who is our comptroller, your leadership on the Board of Public Works saved us more than once as an institution. And long before that, when you served in the House of Delegates, you advanced this college, and you have always been a great friend to us. Thank you for being here today. I would be remiss, though, if I didn't move on to talk about some of the wonderful people who represent us in Maryland, this county. Senator Nancy King, now I want to say what I'm supposed to say. I dare think that we would not be able to have this building if it were not for your seat on the Capital Budget Committee. You and your colleagues, Delegate Carell, Resnick, and Charles Barkley, we know that you all work every day for us, and we're so grateful. But I have to tell you about Senator King. She's one of these people that I just love her presence, because we have the opportunity. I walk into Annapolis, and those of you know in January through April, we're there the whole time. And she'll say, DeRionne, just leave your coat here in my office. You need to sit down and rest. Let's sit down and talk. DeRionne, don't have to send me a long letter. Just send me a text. And I love that about that commitment, because here's the beautiful part. She knows this college. She knows this campus, and she's tightly coupled with her. So thank you so much for what you do for this institution. I would also extend that to the entire Montgomery County delegation. There is not a one who does not accept my call. When I walk through the halls of the buildings of Annapolis, when I'm here in the county, whether it be voting, I know, where's Brian Feldman? I have to see him when I'm often voting. They're there, not asking for my vote, but voting, doing his citizen right. And I love the fact that they're deeply engaged with this institution and know the value that we bring. They have wonderful partners at the county level, and I want to thank our county council for what they do. Council member and President Craig Rice, Roger Berliner I saw here as well, Sherry Branson, Roger, I saw you as well. Who else? And Phil Andrews. I'm going to come back to that momentarily. What I love about our council president is that he says when he's going to deliver for the college, and his colleagues are going to deliver for the college, you do that. Thank you so much all the time for what you do each and every day to advance this institution and the students that we serve. And because I think this might be his last public event for Montgomery College, I want to give a special shout out to Councilmember Phil Andrews. Where is he? Phil Andrews has been tireless in his work for Montgomery College on the Education Committee. He attends our events. He comes in and he says, I think, thoughtful observations. It's clear that he has studied this institution. He knows what we do and is always advancing. He asks the hard questions, but he also was very clear to offer his support. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you've done for this institution. Although he is not here today for me to acknowledge him, I would be remiss if I did not give an opportunity to also thank our county executive, Ike Leggett, on this Thanksgiving Day. He has always been a champion for this institution, so please make sure, those of you who represent his office, that you let him know that we said thank you here today on this Thanksgiving. Our partners, Ms. Eileen Cahill, who is representing Holy Cross Hospital, I know that our alliance will be a force in this county. We are the first in the country to do what we're doing. So if you just think of that right now, just think about what's going to happen with this partnership. We're so glad to have that partnership and have you here. I also want to acknowledge our congressional delegation who delivered on the funds for our infrastructure costs. Congressman Chris Van Hollen, who is actually doing the duty right now on the Hill, God love him. I want to tell him thank you. I know he's here in his spirit, but we also thank him for his leadership and what he's done all the time to support this institution. And now for one of my own, our own here at the institution. I know that his contribution has been significant to what Montgomery College is and was and will be, and we know that it can never be overstated. I owe him a personal set of thank yous in many different ways. Every time I can do it, I tell him that, because he facilitated my transition into this role as the president of Montgomery College, and we all owe him a deep debt of gratitude for his years of leadership here at the Germantown campus, for his vision about what this campus and this facility could be, and we know now that our Life Sciences Park bears his name as a result of that. For me, though, while he is a gentleman, he is also a gentleman, and I'm so honored to call him friend, a visionary, and a doer. Thank you, Dr. Hercules Pinckney. I really also would like to thank those of you who put up with the dust and the mess and the rerouted parking, and our students this morning who actually are giving up parking spaces for us today. I want to thank you all for what you've done to ensure that this facility would live up to the dream that we have for what it can do. I probably should be giving you all some special wet wipes or surgical masks, but I'm thinking if you move into this building, you feel pretty good about the circumstances. And I also want to thank our faculty and staff who had vision for what this building could do and be in the lives of our students and our community. And I want to thank, I really actually need to thank someone as well who was encouraged by Dr. Pinckney to dream big, but who will not be able to live big in this building because she's accepted some different responsibilities in this organization. And I have to thank Dean Kathy McCallion. I didn't forget about you. Thank you. Because of all of you, today is indeed Thanksgiving Day at Montgomery College. Now let me return to where I left off as I prepare to take my seat and offer just a few other comments. At Montgomery College, we are architects. We are not just the architects of this wonderful building, we are the architects of tomorrow. We are the architects of social justice. We are the architects, and you just wait and watch and see, of an economic order that will eradicate the income inequality that is rippling through the fabric of our democracy. And one more thing, we're owning it. We will work hard every day and will eradicate the achievement gap in this county. We will put it on our shoulders and put our shoulders to the grindstone and struggle mightily on behalf of our students who are at promise, not at risk, at promise. Facilities like this one inspire students to struggle through, to work hard each and every day with exceptional instruction, to overcome adversities that some of us can't even imagine, to juggle work and families and very complex lives. And with 21st century learning facilities comes 21st century learning. And the old order gives way to a new day. That is why we are taking on the opportunity here to address the opportunity gap that affects far too many residents in this county, and we're going to eradicate it, plain and simple. That's a promise from Montgomery College to the community that we serve. Let me wrap this up in rather an unorthodox way, if you might. Oftentimes, I have the pleasure of representing this organization in public spaces, and I try not to replicate myself because I know that many of us travel in the same circles, and how many ways can DeRionne say thank you? How many times is she going to talk about how powerful Montgomery College is? So I typically try not to go back to something I've said before, but I might have to change my mind a little bit today, if you don't mind. I recently had the privilege of joining our U.S. Secretary of Labor, Tom Perez, and Congressman John Delaney on a panel discussing the workforce of the future. And in that, I wanted to make a point that workforce development is a county-wide challenge that demands county-wide effort, because workforce development is economic development. That is why Montgomery College is working hard to establish comprehensive, wide-ranging relationships and partnerships. We need Holy Cross Hospital, we need MedImmune, we need Maxim Biomedical, we need the county council, we need our county delegation, we need the state of Maryland, we need our K-12 partners, we need our wonderful partners at the universities of Shady Grove. We need them all in order to do this work. We need bold people who will act boldly on behalf of this county. And we must act together to craft the future that we want to see. We need to affirm, not with fancy words, but with daily deeds, about our interdependence on each other to accomplish these goals. And it all comes down to one simple fact. We need each other. It's a wonderful gospel song that I love, and it talks about the fact that I need you to survive. I won't harm you with the words that come from my mouth. I need you to survive. Isn't that a beautiful statement about the interdependency of what we do in this county? It comes down to that simple fact. We will meet the challenges only if we act together as a county. We can only give new life to the old phrase, we're in this together, if we actually are in this together. And I cannot offer any better explanation of why togetherness is so vital, but by ending and sharing with you some recent psychological research. In a huge study over many years, psychologists tried to determine what kinds of things affect pain tolerance. Why do some people have high tolerance for pain and others have low tolerance? Here's one finding behind that, which is now a very solid piece of research. Very simple. When people hold hands, their tolerance for pain rises. When people hold hands, their tolerance for pain rises. Think about this. When you hold hands with someone, you're able to reduce your pain and their pain. So this is true when 2 people do it. Can you imagine what happens if 10 people do it, 100 people do it, 100,000? Dare I say the 1 million residents that live in Montgomery County do it? We will meet the challenges of our workforce together. We will meet the challenge of growing inequality together. But the key point about this, we will prevail. We will prevail because of the kinds of partnerships that made this day possible for this county. We will prevail because of the partnerships that led to the creation of the Bioscience Education Center at the Germantown Campus of Montgomery College. We will prevail together. So let's hold hands. Let's hold on tight. Let's hold on to each other. And as I take my seat, I must tell you again, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Dr. Pollard. I think if we surveyed the people in this room and asked them to make a list of the things and the people for which and for whom they are thankful, you would be very near the top of everyone's list. Thank you. And before I introduce our next speaker, I would like to welcome Delegate Aruna Miller and Councilmember Sherry Branson. We are very glad that you were able to join us today, despite what may now be parking problems. I hope not, but we're glad you're here. And now, again, to continue in that tradition of Thanksgiving that Dr. Pollard just started, I would like to add my thanks, and for all of us, the thanks that we owe the state of Maryland, the gratitude for its support to make this project a reality. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce Montgomery College's good friend, Comptroller of Maryland, Peter Franchot.
Thank you, Provost Latimer. Do such a good job. It's not easy to introduce everybody. And to each of you, I just want to say on behalf of the great state of Maryland, thank you for being here, particularly Dr. Pollard for her leadership, Reggie Felton, who's a great friend for many years, and all the board. What you've been able to accomplish is phenomenal. And former President Pinckney, so glad you're here with your wife and able to get a standing ovation. None of us are going to get a standing ovation. Well, Dr. Pollard did. But it's well-deserved, and as a recovering legislator myself, I am delighted to be here with my colleagues. Everyone at the state level, like Senator King and Delegate Barkley, Chairman Barkley, and Krill Resnick, County Council President Craig Rice, obviously, is part of that Montgomery County team. But the other delegates that are here, everybody works hard on behalf of Montgomery College, and I know that Aruna Miller was mentioned, and I see Senator Feldman, who is a great friend of mine, sitting over there in the audience, very humbly, but he's a big deal in this particular space, and I'm delighted to see him here. If Sheila Hickson's here, is she here? I guess she may have missed it, but there's the chair of the Ways and Means Committee and somebody that I have so much respect for, and Mayor Katz and Roger Berliner, Phil Andrews, who is so great, and others that are here. Thank you for the teamwork that you represent. Whenever I talk about Montgomery College, I ask people to remember one number: 60,000. 60,000 students who benefit from this marvelous facility and great institution that the state of Maryland is so proud of. And I just want to thank everyone whose vision and persistence made this particular idea of a new Bioscience Center and the entire focus upon biosciences a reality. As Dr. Pollard said, this is a great, I see former Senator Jenny Forehand here, goodness gracious. Oh, current senator. Uh-oh. There goes my agency's budget. But the teamwork represented today in this room between the private sector and academic community and government at the local and state level, it's impressive. Represents our state's leadership, but particularly Montgomery County's leadership in the field of biosciences. And as Dr. Pollard said, that leadership is absolutely critical to the future of the Maryland economy, to training Marylanders for the quality, skilled workforce we need to compete in a very difficult international and global economy. It's critical to inspire ingenuity and entrepreneurship that will create the family-supporting jobs that we need. And I'm looking forward working with Holy Cross to see that partnership develop new solutions to the health challenges that are so important to improving our lives. As comptroller, I'm intimately aware of the fiscal and economic realities we face in the near term, but the activity inside these classrooms and these labs demonstrates why Maryland's future is still bright, our economic bones are still strong, our resilience firm as a state. So on behalf of the great state of Maryland, thank you again to everyone here for having done what it took to get to this point, and everything you and this institution means to the economic future of the state of Maryland. Thank you for allowing me to take a small part.
Thank you, Mr. Franchot. Teamwork, holding hands, to use that metaphor, is an obvious strength of our state elected officials, as this dream come true would not be a reality without our state delegation working together. From the delegation, we have Senator Nancy King and delegates Charles Barkley and Kirill Resnick, who represent Germantown in Annapolis. Join me in welcoming them to the podium. Thank you.
Good morning. Don't you love it when a plan comes together? This is great. Before I go further, I would just like to recognize some of the delegation members that are here in the audience. Jenny Forehand, would you stand up for a minute? Jenny has served Montgomery County for 36 years in the legislature and is retiring this year, but she is still a senator until January. But she has done so much for the bioscience industry and has worked right alongside with us and in working for this and so many other issues. So thank you, Jenny. Susan Lee has joined us. Susan also is a big champion for the bioscience community. We are lucky to have her moving into the Senate with us also in November, so we're very excited about having her as a member of our delegation. Senator Brian Feldman, I do this all the time. Brian Feldman, stand up. Brian has been one of the major champions for the bioscience community in the legislature for many years when he was in the House of Delegates and now in the Senate. So he and I really work together, champion a lot of the legislation that we get through, all those tax credits and that kind of thing that are so attractive to the bioscience community. So I expect that we will continue putting that kind of legislation forward. Aruna Miller is here. She's also a huge supporter of Montgomery College. Have I missed anyone else besides my team up here? This is such a thrill to be here today. When you look at the team effort that we have for this, we've got our county council, we've got the state legislature, we have the community, and these are all power brokers in here. I'm looking out at the audience. I see you all. But let me just say, when you see DeRionne Pollard and Susan Madden walking down the hall, it is a force to reckon with, let me tell you. Or I'll be sitting in committee and I get these text messages, what the heck are you doing? That's how this building got to fruition. There were so many people in this room, in this community that have fought so hard to get this building put together that that's how it's done. And I am so proud when I am talking to other people across the state and being on the budget committee and the capital budget committee, we look at all the colleges and what they're doing and what they're accomplishing and what they're building and that kind of thing. Nothing comes even close. It's almost embarrassing. Nothing comes close to Montgomery College for what we do. It is such a proud moment to be in Annapolis and say that I represent Montgomery College. Because other counties don't have this. They don't have a team like we have. They don't have the team effort of the county council and the county executive and the school board and the college all working together. No one else has what we have. So I'm proud to be from Montgomery County and proud to represent Montgomery College. I'm going to let my colleagues speak here now.
It really is an honor to be here this morning, and I'm surprised Nancy didn't say it, but welcome to District 39. If you go out on the deck and look a little bit to the right, you'll see my house. I'm less than 5 minutes away. I too want to congratulate Montgomery College. I mean, every time they come, and they do ask for a lot of stuff. But that's okay, because every time they come, we work it out, we work on it together, and we come up with it. You know, it seemed like we just finished the science building at Rockville, and now we're here doing the bioscience building here. And I can't be remiss and say that there's another building coming real soon, and that's going to be building number 4 at the universities at Shady Grove, because that's the important part that ties this all together, because we need that building too. And I told Stu, I'm leaving that board before he talks number 5, because you get one done and the other one's on the way. And I will have to say a good hello to my good friend Hercules Pinckney, because I remember it's probably been 10 years ago that we were discussing about this building and the future of Montgomery College, what we were going to do. Even then, I think I was still in appropriations, but it was way too early to get money at that time. But Herc, we wouldn't be here without you. And you've been a good friend of mine for years, and I really appreciate it. And and I'm going to recognize one more person before I quit. Since we started, Ken Reichert came in, who represents Senator Cardin. Ken, it's good to see you today. And I'm going to close by just giving you apologies for Delegate Shane Robinson. Unfortunately, he can't always get off work and get here. Now, this time, I'm going to turn it over to Delegate Reginald and let him say a few words.
Thank you, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here, and I know what everybody's thinking. Enough of the politicians talking. So I will be very, very brief. I just got a thumbs up from the third row. I will be very, very brief. I am very, very proud that not only that we got this building, but that we got it in District 39. We love having the Germantown Campus for Montgomery College in District 39. No matter how many times they try and redistrict it away from us, we fight to keep it. Not a lot of votes right here on campus, but we still try and fight to keep it because it is so important to our community. And I wasn't around, but I have this image of when this little community college in Montgomery County was first conceived and how far we've come. 3 campuses, as Comptroller Francho mentioned, 60,000 students on campus. That's bigger than any other college in the state of Maryland. It is an amazing facility. It's an amazing college. It is an amazing beacon of hope and education for our students. And Dr. Pollard mentioned all the great benefits that we're going to have here in the community. The jobs, the jobs, the education, all those bright spots. And I think those are fantastic. But I want to mention all the things that this building and the science building in Rockville, the new science building in Rockville, are going to have for the globe, for the world. Biosciences and technology, high-tech, cybersecurity, this is our bread and butter here in Montgomery County. And I have this vision of the cures for the next generation for malaria and AIDS and Ebola and every other horrendous disease we can think of. And the medical technology for curing paralysis, or the next generation of imaging and scanning equipment that will let us get down to the microscopic level. I have a feeling that those advances are going to come from right here in Montgomery County. They're going to come from right here on Montgomery College's campus in Germantown. They're going to come from this building. And I have an image of graduates of this facility standing right here where we're standing today, presenting their findings to the global community. We are at the forefront, and Montgomery College, Dr. Pollard, and everyone here, you are that future, and we're very, very proud to be able to be part of it. So thank you very much.
Thank you all very much for your support and for your wonderful remarks and sharing that vision. There's a theme emerging here about partnership, about holding hands, about teams, and about dreams. And the Montgomery County Council is certainly a part of that. They continue to be an instrumental partner in advancing the college in the 21st century. Please join me in welcoming County Council President Craig Rice.
So many of you know that I hardly ever give a speech from written remarks, and the reason why is because I always want to listen to what people say and then speak from the heart. And it touched me as I think about thankfulness. And, you know, a lot of people don't know, but I was just on the dais yesterday and talking about an unfortunate incident that happened in my family when I came back from school at University of Illinois. And I had to right myself in terms of understanding where I was going to go and what my future was going to entail. And part of that happened at Montgomery College. People don't know that I went to Montgomery College. I actually went there for 2 semesters at Montgomery College in Rockville. And it was extremely centering for me. The support that faculty and staff gave me, the reinforcements and the rigor, the academic rigor that was there then and still exists today is so important in terms of changing people's lives. And so when people talk about what they're thankful for and what things give to them, I want to make sure that we don't just focus on just the academia, but also focus on what places mean and how they speak to you. And so I want to say thank you, Dr. Pollard, Dr. Pinckney, and to your predecessors for what you did for me. I stand here this morning very blessed to be the Montgomery County Council President. And I consider myself blessed not because of the position, but because of the opportunity for change that I am afforded. And that doesn't come without great responsibility, but it also comes with a great family. And I want to thank my members of the Montgomery County Council who have been tremendous partners with me and helped me to shape myself into what I think is a true and really meaningful elected leader. I had an opportunity, a very unique opportunity, to represent Germantown at both the state level and at the county level. And, you know, my family is extended, so all of my delegates and senators that I've had the opportunity to serve with as well, I thank you to you as well. You know, what Montgomery College means in terms of opportunity is just so important. And it's something I speak about to young children as the chair of the Education Committee. And I go out to schools and, you know, first and second graders really can't grasp the concept of the financial and zoning and all the other things that we do. So they say, what is it that you do? And I say, well, you know, we do zoning and we determine where buildings go. And they're like, what? And I say, yeah, wait. Okay, so we do, you know, laws like the school bus cameras. And then they start to, like, oh, okay. But you know when their eyes light up, when they really understand and get it, is when I say, we represent opportunity for you. Our job is to make sure you can do and be whatever it is that you want to be. That's the responsibility of everybody in this room. I think back to when I grew up here in Montgomery County, born and raised almost 42 years ago. And back then, the saying was, it takes a village to raise a child. And for me, I take out the village because we're a little bit too big with 1 million people. It takes a community to raise a child. It takes a community to make a difference in a person's life. And, you know, Montgomery College, USG, every single one of you in this room is faculty and staff, all of us as elected officials, nonprofits, business community, all coming together. We, as a family, make a difference in every person's life. That's our responsibility. It's just that simple. But that's why we all can do it. That's the reason why we all get along. We fight just like a family. Isn't that right, Senator King? That's right. We fight like a family, but we also love and come together like a family as well because we know what's at stake. We know what's at stake is making sure that every single one of our 1 million residents has whatever they need to be successful. And so I'm thankful to be a part of that. I'm thankful to be a part of a team like the Montgomery County Council. like Montgomery County, like the state of Maryland, that believes in each and every one of us achieving what it is we can achieve. I also want to thank Councilmember Knapp, former Councilmember Knapp, but without him, and a lot of people don't know this story, I wouldn't be where I am. He's the one that convinced me that this was right for me. I can't thank you enough for that. I'm serious, because when I think about the changes that I've been able to make in this community, that we have been able to make in this community, makes my life all the worthwhile. So, Dr. Pollard, I thank you for your message today, because you continue to inspire and remind me of what it is that we all need to do and where our focus is and where that end line is. And it truly is representative of this building. Just like Delegate Reginald said, the future and what can be accomplished here at Montgomery College in this Bioscience Center is endless. The opportunity is well beyond what we could even imagine. And so I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you who continue to work each and every day to make sure that that comes to reality. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Council President Rice. Thank you so much for all your support to Montgomery College, especially to the Germantown campus. And please bring our appreciation back to the entire council. We are so grateful for their support and commitment to our students. Some of you may recognize me from the groundbreaking ceremony that was held about 3 years ago when I was the provost of this campus. I am Sanjay, Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, and I'm absolutely thrilled, and since we are on this theme of Thanksgiving, I'm absolutely thrilled and thankful to be standing before you in this state-of-art science facilities. Our students walked into this space just a few weeks ago, and it was most gratifying to see smiles on their faces as they entered the building for the first time. I realized that they would get to learn in this place. I don't blame them. When I first walked into this building, while it was still under construction many months ago, my first thought was, I want to teach in this building. Perhaps our new STEM provost will have a job for me. Like most worthwhile efforts, we did not get here without bumps along the way. It was a journey, but the talented team of architects, engineers, builders, and most importantly, our own dedicated facilities staff worked tirelessly to bring Bioscience Education Center to fruition. I would ask you to give a round of applause for a very special group of people, our lab coordinators or faculty who are in this building. They worked over the summer in ordering a huge list of equipments, opening boxes, making sure that everything is in place. If you have moved houses, you know what we are talking about. Just look at that effort and multiply it about 1,000 times. So it was that challenging. Give them a round of applause. They helped us realize our vision of a facility that would support learning innovation in the sciences at a time when national policy makers, and we heard from some today, and experts recognize STEM education as the answer for building the critical skills necessary to be successful in any sector of tomorrow's workforce. That's right. They created more than an academic building, but a hub for economic stimulation. And to the citizens of Montgomery County, we promise that you will see a seismic return on your investments of tax dollars. A return that includes building a well-trained workforce, bringing jobs to our region, our county, in the industries that drive our economy, and creating programs that advance our region, giving us a competitive edge in global knowledge economy. To all who helped raise this brilliant center for learning, please accept our most sincere thanks. Our students and Montgomery County community will benefit for the decades to come. We have a short video that will give you a glimpse into our journey to this day. Let's watch this video.
As you can see, it's been quite a journey from that mountain of dirt to where we are sitting today. And I'd like to give two shout outs because of that. One is to the incredible work that the facilities staff has done before the building. There are people who have left the college for other opportunities who were part of this. There are people who probably should be sleeping in today because they were working into the night. But a huge thank you for all of your effort and truly what will go on to maintain and make this building function. It is a complicated building. So we're very grateful for the effort that I know will continue. And the other is for that wonderful video. You saw students in classrooms and labs. That happened on August 25th. And I'm so grateful that we were able to get a camera crew in here and have this wonderful production ready for today. There's been a lot of midnight oil burned here in the last couple of weeks, so thank you, it was great. Montgomery College's vision includes this statement: our organization will be characterized by agility and relevance as it meets the dynamic challenges facing our students and community. Our curricula and our current and our course content is relevant because we have dedicated and generous business partners who give their time, talent, and financial support. The value and benefit of such partnerships to our mission, to our students' success, is a key reason we chose to say yes to Montgomery County in joining in developing what is now the Hercules Pinckney Life Sciences Park. The innovative partnerships already forged and in the making have already led to a first and only. We are the only community college with a hospital on its campus. With us today is Ms. Eileen Cahill from Holy Cross Germantown Hospital. The hospital is the anchor tenant of the Hercules Pinckney Life Sciences Park. It is a symbol of a strong and growing partnership that will address a critical need in the county and state. Think of the endless possibilities, as we like to say, including clinical practicums for nursing students, hospital employees taking continuing ed classes at Germantown, or teach a class or mentor a student. Maybe it's a student who's interested in designing medical equipment or health information management. We look forward to a long and fruitful partnership with the hospital, a partnership that will grow Montgomery County's economy, and will keep that economy healthy, and will provide students with an array of learning opportunities and access to good-paying jobs. It's my pleasure to introduce Eileen Cahill. Welcome.
Good morning. I'm going to try to read this without my old lady glasses, but we'll see. I'm honored to be here to celebrate with all of you this milestone for the Montgomery College Germantown Campus and to represent Kevin Sexton and Holy Cross Health. Kevin regrets he is unable to be with you today and asks that I extend his congratulations to Dr. DeRionne Pollard and the entire Montgomery College community. And we both extend our heartfelt congratulations to the 3 campus provosts who took yesterday's vision and made it today's reality, Drs. Hercules Pinckney, Dr. Sanjay, and Dr. Margaret Latimer. Holy Cross and Montgomery College have long been connected to each other, beginning decades ago with the formation of a traditional relationship shared by many community colleges and community hospitals throughout the United States. That is when Holy Cross Hospital began providing Montgomery College nursing and allied health students opportunities for clinical rotations, mentorships, and employment. In the last 10 years, though, 3 unique collaborations have occurred between our 2 organizations. First, in February of 2004, demonstrating a mutual desire to create healthy communities and care for vulnerable and at-risk populations, Holy Cross established the first hospital-based health center for the uninsured at the college's Health Sciences building in Tacoma Park. A few years later, in 2008, our 2 organizations, through a memorandum of understanding, created a joint work group to collaborate on identifying and addressing healthcare workforce priorities and shortages, including a commitment to double the number of nursing graduates. And on October 1st, 2014, just 21 days from now, Holy Cross and Montgomery College will become a national model of collaboration when Holy Cross Germantown Hospital opens to receive patients, and in doing so, officially becomes the anchor tenant of the Hercules Pinckney Life Sciences Park. Of note, Holy Cross Germantown Hospital is the first new hospital in the state of Maryland in 25 years and the first new hospital in Montgomery County in 35 years. None of these initiatives of the last 10 years has been easy to achieve. It has taken foresight, fortitude, and heart, certainly among the executive leadership of both organizations and by our respective governing boards, and for 2 of the 3 initiatives, by teams of staff and consultants who worked with a singular focus through various local and state regulatory and legislative bodies. In the 5 years since Montgomery College and Holy Cross created a joint work group to address healthcare workforce priorities and shortages, particularly in nursing, we've had impressive results. A few of our joint accomplishments are: nursing rotations at Holy Cross Hospital have increased by 385%. Enrollment in the nursing program at Montgomery College has increased by 32%. Together, we have evaluated ways to leverage resources and strengthen programs. 2 examples. Health information management is a workforce priority in the healthcare industry, and Holy Cross is leveraging the college's health information management program to promote coder recruitment. In turn, the college is supporting Holy Cross by training our current coding staff in anticipation of the ICD-10 implementation. And a few months ago, after a 2-year integration and transition plan, Holy Cross shuttered its 25-year School of Radiology Technology and combined resources with Montgomery College to educate and train radiologic workers. Holy Cross and Montgomery College have shared recruitment strategies. Here again are 2 examples. In the fall of 2013, Montgomery College invited Holy Cross Recruitment to conduct information sessions at all 3 campuses so that students could learn of employment opportunities at Holy Cross Germantown Hospital. 400 students attended. Each semester, Montgomery College and Holy Cross jointly select a cohort of 15 nursing students to practice nursing at Holy Cross in their final semester. And those nursing students are given priority consideration for hire upon graduation and completion of nursing board exams. In the first cohort, 11 out of 13 students were hired for employment at Holy Cross. And as recent as yesterday, we can add to our catalog another unique initiative. Holy Cross Germantown Hospital was the site of an active shooter training exercise conducted by Montgomery County Police and other public safety agencies. Montgomery College security staff was invited to observe the training exercise, and students from the college's fire and criminal justice programs were given an opportunity to participate as volunteers and receive class credit. And there are more joint accomplishments that I could cite, but in the interest of time, I will close by summarizing our collaboration in a broader context. With the dedication of the Bioscience Education Center, with the earlier establishment of a business incubator, now the Paul Peck Academic and Innovation Building, and with the Hercules Pinckney Life Sciences Park becoming a reality with the opening of Holy Cross Germantown Hospital, our 2 organizations can proudly claim to having achieved distinct but intertwining goals. For the college, it brings business and industry to the Germantown campus, thereby giving students practical insight and experiential opportunities in health and life sciences workforce settings. And for Holy Cross, we continue our mission of service by expanding healthcare access to the upper regions of Montgomery County and in being an industry leader in workforce development. Our 2 organizations may be separate entities, but our innovative thinking, our tolerance for measured risk-taking, and our respect for each other's place in the life of the community led us down an uncharted path 10 years ago. Neither Holy Cross or Montgomery College could have envisioned in 2004 where the path would lead, nor do we know with any certainty where the path will take us in the future. But if the last 10 years are a predictor, one can only imagine the endless possibilities. Montgomery College and Holy Cross can be justifiably proud of our collaboration, and I have no doubt our accomplishments to date will be a touchstone for other community colleges and community hospitals as they too seek to create healthy communities in their towns and cities. Thank you, and my congratulations again on what a wonderful day for the college.
Thank you, Eileen. I know you have a pretty busy agenda right now yourself, and we really appreciate that you could take the time to join us today. And on behalf of everyone here at Montgomery College, thank you for your continued involvement in Holy Cross's commitment to growing the next generation of nurses locally and to the exciting opportunities to collaborate. She shared with you this exercise that was held at Holy Cross yesterday. And if you haven't realized it, you will when you leave. If you look out the windows here, the building that you see right down the hill is Holy Cross Hospital. So a couple of weeks ago when Eileen called and said that they were going to have an active shooter drill at the hospital in September, I said, what date? And I was really relieved that it was September 9th and not September 10th. So thank you for that. It is now my pleasure to ask Dr. Jamie Friedman from MedImmune to the podium. MedImmune is the worldwide biologics research and development arm of AstraZeneca. MedImmune is a generous supporter of our biotechnology program, providing scholarships for students and sponsoring summer programs for budding young scientists. Partnerships like this help to ensure that our students transition to the workforce with critical skills mastered, prepared to contribute to local businesses and to the community. Dr. Friedman?
Thank you very much. I'm not a politician, but I feel like I should be one being here today. I just want to say that, first of all, it's a great honor to be here on behalf of MedImmune to celebrate the opening of the Montgomery College Bioscience Education Center. For me personally, that is something that's very gratifying because I spent my entire life, it feels like, in the area of science. I studied science throughout all my years of school, and then I decided I wanted to go into the healthcare field. So I continued to do science during the summers, but I trained eventually to become a physician. And so as a physician scientist, I know what it means to have a college like this to help direct people into the area of science, because there's so many different possible careers in science. And I took a little bit of a different route by leaving the physician area to go into the pharmaceutical drug development area, where I felt like I could have a much broader impact on patient lives by developing new medicines for unmet medical needs. So I feel like Montgomery College Bioscience Education Center will offer opportunities to new scientists that are coming out of the school to be able to contribute to the healthcare field in a similar way. You don't have to be a physician to go into the pharmaceutical industry. And so we have been enjoying this long relationship with Montgomery College, and we think we're going to be able to build it even further. So I think it should go without saying that when scientists do experiments for the first time, they discover something new that no one's ever known before in the world. And that is the most powerful thing that occurs with science. And when you direct it toward healthcare, you can understand diseases better, and eventually, if you're lucky, you can develop new medicines that will be able to interfere with those diseases, especially for ones where we don't have medicines around today. And MedImmune plays a large role in that. MedImmune is, I think you're aware, the largest pharmaceutical company within Maryland, and we're located right here in Montgomery County. We're the biologics arm for AstraZeneca, and so we're developing all different types of antibody-based therapeutics for many, many different diseases across multiple therapeutic areas. And we have had opportunities for students from Montgomery College to come over to MedImmune to see what we're doing. And we hope to build on the exchange of information for students in coming years to MedImmune. I'm relatively new to Maryland. I've only been here for a couple of years, but one of the first things I appreciated is that relative to other states, it's somewhat undersaturated compared to other areas. So there's a lot of opportunity for growth. And one of the biggest areas for growth is the opportunity to develop collaborations between academia, the pharmaceutical industry, and hospitals. And right here in Montgomery County, we have all three. We have Montgomery College, now with this new Bioscience Education Center. We have MedImmune, and we also have the new Holy Cross Hospital. And I can't imagine that there's any greater opportunity for these three institutions to really get together to develop cross-fertilization, developing people and talent, and discovering new ways to treat patients in healthcare. So I want to thank everyone here, and really pleased to be here for the opening of this really important institution. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Friedman, for sharing your thoughts and that very interesting perspective on where you've come from your journey, as well as the opportunities that are here in the county today. And thank you and MedImmune for their participation and support at Montgomery College. The Bioscience Education Center is designed to support state-of-the-art pedagogy that emphasizes an interdisciplinary understanding of science critical to innovation and discovery today, and that merges theoretical and practical understanding. There are a few people more excited about this building than I am, and those are the faculty and staff who will call this building home, who inspire the next-gen STEM workforce. And here, representing this ecstatic group, is Dr. Collins Jones.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. I think ecstatic, honestly, doesn't really begin to describe how we feel being here. This is like 50-plus Christmases rolled into one. I really can't describe how excited all of us, all of the faculty, are here to be able to call this building home. On behalf of everyone in the building, I really want to extend a massive, massive thank you to everyone who made this possible. It's just amazing. This building has surpassed our expectations. I never expected this. Thank you so much. I also really don't think that any of us right now can fully understand the impact that this building, its equipment, which is amazing. I worked at NIH, and we are now comparable to anything NIH has. In fact, some of my friends have asked to come up here to have access to what we've gotten. And the personnel, the impact that this will have on our students, on the local bioscience industry, and on the citizens of Montgomery County. We are going to change a lot of lives with this building. Okay? So I really think we've talked about return on investment. It's one of the things I had to learn as I sort of transition between academia and industry. This building will provide an amazing return on investment for everyone who invested in it, and in a very positive way. I wish I had a lot of time to tell you all about the building. Those of you who know me know that I could talk for 8 hours about this. But we only have a few minutes, so I hope that you will all take the time to tour the building and see what's been created here. It's just an amazing space. It is not your average bioscience building, believe me, okay? So what does this new facility bring? It's a quantum leap in our ability to do just about everything that we have been doing, but orders of magnitude better. The new Bioscience Center and its contents enhances our ability to provide an often used term, but truly relevant real-world instruction for STEM students, and through our recent grant, additional training for those who are already employed in the STEM field. For example, if you go downstairs, we have a mock biomanufacturing suite designed partly with some help from the FDA. It has state-of-the-art bioreactors, which you saw in the video up here. We have state-of-the-art protein purification units. And this is going to allow us to simulate the manufacture of vaccines and antibodies, which will then supply a workforce to local biotech companies such as MedImmune and Human Genome Sciences. Chemistry has a brand new two-dimensional nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy machine, and we also have GC mass spec. We have a lot of learning to do ourselves, by the way. And biology and biotechnology will employ the latest technology being used to unlock the secrets of the human genome. We have a next-generation DNA sequencer, which has been approved by the FDA for use with humans, so we have some plans for Holy Cross. And we also have a digital droplet PCR. There's only 100 of those in the world, but we negotiated with Bio-Rad to have one delivered here at a discount. Okay? We will continue to expand our partnerships with local biotech companies such as MedImmune, AstraZeneca, Human Genome Sciences, GlaxoSmithKline, MD Bio, Maxim, Noble Life Sciences, Quality Biologicals, and many more that I don't have time to name. But all of these companies have supported Montgomery College and our biosciences program with scholarships, with jobs, and with internships. It is truly a partnership. We look forward to expanding and developing partnerships with NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, and with the National Cancer Institute. With the opening of the Bioscience Center, we at the Germantown Campus will continue to provide a well-prepared 21st century workforce to Montgomery County and the state of Maryland. I like to think of us as STEM in action, because we are doers here. The biotech program at Montgomery College, for example, has supplied over 300 entry-level workers to the biotech industry in Montgomery County over the past 10 years. These are people who, once they get jobs, continue their education with bachelor's and master's degrees. They stay in the county, and happily for all of us, they become taxpayers. They're here. They have a career. So we are not your average college. And on that note, I would like to introduce one of our biotechnology program graduates, Ms. Sue Chen, who's representative of us. Sue, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Jones, for the introduction, and thank you for inviting me to speak today. When I graduated from the University of Maryland with a bachelor's degree in biology, I didn't want to move on to medical school or dental school like most of my classmates. I wanted to work in a lab. Finding a job without a real-world experience or technical skills was difficult. But during this time, my brother was attending Montgomery College for the automotive technology program. And while looking at the website, I came across information about the biotechnology certificate program. Also, by the way, we don't live in Montgomery County, we live in PG County, so we were willing to drive for a good education. While taking classes, I benefited from small class sizes, one-on-one attention, and practical applications to the workforce. So fast forward to February 2012, when I started working at Maxim Biomedical, an in vitro diagnostic company which focuses on manufacturing diagnostic kits and offering contract research and contract manufacturing services. I started working at Maxim Biomedical as a manufacturing associate. Then I was advanced to quality control as a QC analyst. A year later, I became research and development associate. As of January of this year, I was promoted to manufacturing manager. Currently, I'm also pursuing a It's gonna make me cry. Currently, I'm also pursuing a master's in biotechnology from UMBC by the Shady Grove campus. So here I am today. My road here was not easy. I worked hard, the stars aligned, opportunities came, and the timing worked out. But I know without the biotechnology program at Montgomery College, I wouldn't be here where I am today. I have to thank Dr. Kelman and Dr. Jones for their guidance, support, and expertise. And everyone who has supported me along the way, you know who you are. Before I started the program, I had basic lab skills, but I knew nothing about biotechnology. Thanks to the program, I received a solid foundation of knowledge to build upon and more confidence in my skills and to enter the workforce. I will always believe in this program. In addition, I am proud to say that Maxim Biomedical also employs 2 additional Montgomery College Biotechnology Program graduates, and FYI, my sister is also alumna of this program with her own successful career path at BioAlliance. They are all here today to support this building, so Sarah Chen, Jonathan Swantek, and Judy Grigsby. And also representative from Maxim Biomedical is also here, Jessica Ma. She is our quality assurance associate. So thank you for all you've done for us. So companies I feel are still seeking skilled employees, and with the addition of this building, it will excite students about science and present many opportunities for many generations. I really do love science, and thank you for allowing me to represent the students. Thank you.
We are so proud of you and so proud to call you our own, along with your colleagues and family members who are here today. And we're really glad that you were able to join us for this event. Before we conclude, the end is in sight, I want to give, again, a shout out to our IT folks for today and our incredible event staff. It's also a first for them. Where do you put the microphones? How do you set up the chairs? All of that had to be determined for this event. Again, more tireless workers who have earned a good night's sleep, and I hope they get it tonight. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We can't let this milestone pass without a photograph, so when I conclude, I'm going to ask all the speakers, board members, and elected officials if they will please join me for a photograph. We will share some DNA in that process. And again, I do want to conclude in thanking all of you for joining us today. Your generous and continued support for our students here at Montgomery College is enormously appreciated. This does conclude our program. Thank you again for joining our celebration.